Welcome to
Welcome
our
to
session
our
today.
session today.
Our session
Our session
today
today
is
is
welding
welding
defects.
defects.
In our previous lesson, we did welding, different types of welding. That was cast welding, arc welding, and several other types of joining methods. Today, we are going to look at the welding defects, and I see everyone is around, and it is a fine morning. So maybe was your how is was your weekend in general?
Yeah, the weekend was fine,
My
though it
wicket
was
was
long.
good.
Awesome. So mine too was good, and to begin with, we did define some different terms in welding and fabrication, and we did say welding was is actually the type of joining two similar or dissimilar metals together. And after welding, we know that there is some other defects that occur during welding. So today we are going to see those types of welding defects, and maybe to brainstorm, what kind of welding defects do you know before we look at the scope and the objective of this lesson? Maxwell?
Yes, I know one type of welding defect as porosity, which is a appearance of trapped gases in a welded joint.
Yes. Good. So our scope for today is that we are going to cover the welding defects, and our main objective is that at the end of this session you are in a position to correctly explain different types of weld. So going straight to our main objective is that the first welding defect that we can see during the welding and fabrication is the lack of penetration. And this lack of penetration is actually the failure of the filler metal to penetrate to the joint. So you find this is due to inadequate slugging, incorrect edge penetration, incorrect welding technique. So that is one of the welding defects. The second welding defect is lack of fusion. When we talk about the lack of fusion, is the failure of the filler metal to fuse with the parent metal. This is due to too fast travel of the welding. When you are welding too fast without any break, the filler metal will not fuse with the parent metal. The second one is incorrect welding technique. And incorrect welding technique, it varies with the type of the material that you are welding. The third is insufficient heat. So when you are using the different types of metal contains different types of heat regulation. So you must adhere to the type of the material that you are welding. The fourth, or rather the third type of defect that it occurs during the welding is the porosity. And let me say, if we have some air lacks in between the welding the welding between the welding filler metal and the parent metal, it creates some holes or small holes throughout the weld. So it is caused by trapping the cars during the welding process. This is due to the chemical in the metal, like the oil. When you are welding, you must clean up the base metal that you are welding in order to remove the chemical in the metal. The second reason is due to dampness. So if we have any water liquid or any liquid that is within the surface of the filler and the parent metal, it creates some air lack or gas lack in between the weld. The third reason is due to the rapid cooling of weld. So when you weld and we have any external forces that will cause the cooling effect to be too fast, that causes the porosity. Okay, we can see another defect, that is the lack of slack inclusion. And if I may ask one of you to just explain to us the slack inclusion briefly. Yes, Daniel?
Yeah, slag inclusion is the entrapment of slag or other impurities in the weld, and it can be caused by slag from previous runs not being cleaned away, and it can also be caused by insufficient cleaning and preparation of the base metal before welding commences.
Yes, awesome. So the slack inclusion is when you have some materials in between the weld and it causes some impurities in between the weld. So thank you. The another defect is cracking. So after welding, you find that due to the rapid cooling and some maybe the dissimilar metals, we find, or using the rod that is incorrectly used, you find the weld part cracking. So it is the formation of the cracks either in the weld metal or in the parent metal. It is due to an unsuitable parent metal used in the weld or bad welding technique. So that is cracking, and you can see in the picture below that we have some cracks in between the weld. So that cracks actually is the one that we are talking about. We have another defect, that is distortion, and it is due to the high cooling rates. So when the weld actually cools very fast, you find the other metal actually tilting and not being accurate to the base metal. So it is also due to the smaller diameter electrode. When you use electrode which is small diameter, also it is due to poor clamping. When you clamp incorrectly your metals, it will cause the distortion and also slow arc travel. Lastly, we have the exclusive penetration. It is where the weld metal protrudes through the root of the weld, and it is caused by incorrect edge preparation. So you must prepare your edge correctly in order for it not to occur. The second cause is too high heat concentration. The third is too slow travel of the molten metal. So to find all these uh, defects, you can find it in this book called Introduction to Basic Manufacturing Processes, Workshop Technology, and also neck papers. So before I close it, maybe I let us recap on what we have learned today. What have you learned today? Yes, Gavin.
Uh, Today we have learned about the welding defects.
Yes.
For example, porosity, which occurs when gas bubbles become trapped in the metal in the
Yes.
welding metal, leading to
Thank
small
you.
voids or cavities.
So for further clarification, I can give you some assignment that you can go and research more defects on arc welding, and also look more on the cars welding. That is our next lesson that we are going to look at. So if you have any clarification or any question, you are free to ask before we close the session. Any question? So thank you, and let's meet in the next class. That is, we are going to see the cars welding defects, and enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you too.